Thank you, Madam President. The very same force that organized massacre of peaceful demonstrators in Tbilisi 25 years ago on this day, then did the same in Baku, then the same in Vilnius and in Riga, and most recently in Kiev, and is now trying to carve up free and sovereign state of Ukraine and deprive its freedom-loving people of their future. And I remind you that 70% of them support the European integration. When we drew parallels between the Russian invasion of Georgia in 2008 and the events of 1930s, eyebrows were raised. But today, these parallels are self-imposing. The sham referendum organized in Crimea is reminiscent of the so-called referendum organized in Austria and the subsequent Anschluss. And the premise of defending compatriots used by Mr. Putin in Crimea is strikingly similar to the one used by Hitler to seize the Sudetenland. And we all remember that he did not stop there. Most people here would agree that one reason why Putin went ahead with this decision to invade Ukraine is the very little and inadequate price that he had to pay for the invasion of Georgia, occupation of its territory, and the ethnic cleansing that the Russian troops carried out there. And by the way, that fact is recognized as such by this assembly. I remember in 2010, when 75 members of this assembly signed a motion to annul the credentials of the Russian delegation, one of our colleagues, Mr. Gross, was insisting it was so important to keep the channels of communication, that the MPs could not be held responsible for the decision of the executive. We kept these channels of communication, and the result we got is the opposite of what we wanted. Obviously, I thank the rapporteurs for this very clear report, for a very clear condemnation of the military aggression, which can go further, and obviously the endorsement of legitimacy of the Ukrainian government, which is in office today. Dear colleagues, the action has obviously some price. It's not priceless. But the cost of inaction is much higher, and we should all understand that. Tomorrow, we will be deciding whether to deprive the Russian colleagues just of the voting rights or annul their credentials. The Russian media is already trumpeting about victory, that it's likely that only their voting rights will be suspended, and they can still come here and give us their Gromyko-type lectures. And I think one thing we all agree about is that we surely do not want to embolden the aggressor. So, in 1968, when Soviet troops invaded Czechoslovakia, only 8 people had bravery to come out on the Red Square with a famous slogan, "For our freedom and yours." Without free Ukraine, there cannot be free Russia. So in order to see free Russia one day, we should support free Ukraine for their freedom and Russia's. Thank you.